Hi guys, Lex the Gray here. This is another solo RPG workshop video. I think this is number 5 or 6. I don't know. It's been like almost more than half a month since I made my last one. I've been on this AI trend of the Gray in Cthulhu series I did, and now I'm on this quest with Exeter. So I want to talk about a few things today. Very informal. This is not specific to like a tabletop RPG or anything. This is just me informally talking about a topic I've been thinking about lately, and that's AI. So, um, I've been using AI in this channel forever, since I started, a year plus, on and off. Like, there's been these phases. I use AI, then I use traditional tabletop. I'll use an Oracle, or just, the top think of it up top of my head, using dice. But overall, my channel has been a mix of AI and RPG, solo RPG play. It's been like that. I noticed when I make a string of videos that there's a chain reaction of subscriber count. For example, the past almost a month, or I should say maybe 2 weeks, I've been making these AI videos, AI Dungeon Master slash Keeper, the Cthulhu series. I've had an uptick in the subscriber count. So I imagine that thank you first off for joining, for subscribing. I imagine that these folks who have subscribed might like AI content and RPGs, tabletop RPGs. That's fantastic. Welcome. Then when I do videos with traditionally on table with other games, my subscribe count continues, though at a slower pace. AI is the talk of the town right now. It has been for a couple of years at least. My channel has been a mixed bag of AI, RPGs. I try to do this balancing act. I want to have fun. That's my primary focus of the channel is the experience of learning RPGs and continuing to grow my knowledge and owning physical copies, which I do. I don't just use AI. I have a huge collection of books that's been growing since I have started playing RPGs, all mostly from small businesses locally, bookshops. There's a bunch of them in my area, and from obviously from Drive Through RPG or Itch. So it's opened a whole new world to me. RPGs, that's all I think about. Solo play and using AI. I'm always trying to figure out what I can use AI differently. So I understand that there can be some pushback, and that's completely understandable. I'm not here to defend or attack or say anything about it. Just want to mention. That's fine. I'll probably comment if I see one, then that's it. But I want to do a workshop video because it's been a while. It's just been either my face or the screen with the text and the text and the AI and the character sheets. I don't want it to just be that. It will be there'll be strings of them, chains of videos, probably a dozen or so if I'm in this moment of like consecutive uploads. Because again, my channel is to escape reality, to go into this fictional world and play and enjoy RPGs, whether it's AI or from a book. That's the purpose of my channel. It's this fictional character, Lex the Gray, who I may or may not use in the stories, and just make videos. Not to necessarily to appeal with everybody, not looking for thumbs up and thumbs down, just to make them, to document them, and to see the comments, to see you guys talk about it, to learn, to see the criticisms, to see the love, to see the advice, the questions, all of that. Because that helps me out as a person. I'm not here to try to reach 1,000 or plus subscribers. I'm not here to make money off of it. I'm just here to share my experience as a beginner. I'm not a professional. I don't make money off of this. I don't have 20 plus years of it as a dungeon master, RPGs, and that's evident. I've talked about this before, so it's a broken record for my fans who have been here longer than a year. So I don't want to sound like a broken record when I talk about that occasionally, but I want to start off talking about AI because it's what I use a lot. I don't have any when it comes to designing images like this. I don't have any creative talent. I don't have the time. I don't have the money to pay actual creative people who can make this stuff, within probably a couple of days or a week or so. I'm not too sure. But people who actually have talent more than me to make this stuff, like the video editing or the image design, the logos, I use AI for most of it. This background here I use for AI, the logos occasionally I use for AI, but the biggest thing is a dungeon master and the player, which is always an intriguing path to try because I think for most people on YouTube who use AI and tried RPGs use AI as a dungeon master. Try using it as a player. It's really interesting. That puts you in the shoes as the dungeon master, so you can have your time to tell the story, to tell the adventure, but using it as a player is a curveball because I think the AI is more in tune to be the dungeon master. So using it as the player is always really intriguing to see how it tries to work its way through situations and quests. I recommend it. Just have to put in the instructions, be specific. You're a player, not a dungeon master. It's always fun. I've done it before, and I'm actually really intrigued to try it with the advanced voice mode as it's getting perfected and worked on. Now, AI, we're done. Let's move that aside. Next, I want to talk about a few books I found. These are a few materials I acquired recently from two local RPG bookstores. The first two are called Cthulhu related. These are official content for Chaosium, and they are solitary adventures, which I typically don't do. I don't typically play choose your own adventure style games. This one's the solitary adventure in Canada's Wilds, sorry, Alone Against the Frost. This one is massive. There is, I think, 600 plus choices you can go through, but I think I did try the built-in adventure in the original, I want to say. I'm thinking of that or GURPS. I know GURPS has one too that's built into it to learn the game. But um, games that have built-in oracles or solo play like Scarlet Heroes, I know I've tried that before, but I'm really eager to try this actual separate module created by Chaosium as a solitary adventure. So you can use your own character sheet, your own investigator, and there is so much to do. There's plenty of skill checks and all that stuff in here. So that's the Frost. Again, so it was like 20 bucks. Next is the Tide. This one's a bit smaller. It's roughly, I think, 200 plus choices. Same thing, has everything laid out in these sections and numbers, and you have to jump around again like a choose your own adventure book. The third physical book here is not a Cthulhu, but this will look familiar to everybody. This is Mythic from, I think, 2006, the early 2000s. I don't know if this is the original. It might be, but this is actually a standalone RPG and a supplement, as it says here, to be used with other systems. That caught me off guard. I heard or read, I know online, that there is a Mythic out there that is a standalone RPG, but most of the Mythics that I own, the physical second edition, I think it's called, and a few digital copies, are just the typical Oracle, GM list um, generator, the GM list tool. The fact that this is actually a standalone game with the character creation process and mechanic, where it's heavy on narrative play, is really intriguing. How badly do I want to play this? Pretty badly. Like really well, I want to try it out. But how soon can I get to it with everything else I have in mind? I don't know. But I don't like to make promises on here because I always change my mind a lot. But this is one I found recently, and it was actually really, really dirt cheap, $7. That's Mythic. So those are the three I found today. It's been a while since I talked about physical media. I don't just want to cloud my channel about the with like what I mentioned earlier, AI, but that's really all to talk about. There's really nothing more. Thank you to all my, well, there is one thing. Thank you to my recent slew of subscribers. I noticed an uptick in subscribers since I started the Cthulhu, the Grey Inn, which I need to continue because it's not over. It's just that quest is over. That investigation's over. The character still has an untold story, some future potential. But right now I'm going through the Exeter, which was my D&D campaign. So thank you to my all my subscribers. I think I have like 450 plus now, which is like, uh, again, I know there's people out there have thousands and hundreds of thousands who continuously growing, but to me that I'm like, this is like a milestone for me. So thank you for all who have subscribed. I hope you enjoy my content. Work is, as always, busy for me, so this is like a mental escape for me making these videos. And I know it's not the most like entertaining if I'm not to be too harsh on myself, but like I don't have a lot of editing or like flair. I'm just kind of sitting there playing the adventure. It helps me out. I escape from reality and just play the RPG. The AI, like in my example with Exeter, is just telling the story, just sitting there, picturing it as it's happening in my head. Like, okay, this is great. I'm really enjoying this. Because again, nowadays I don't play traditional video games. I just don't. I play D&D, I play this stuff, RPGs, and that's really it. I don't play games anymore. I don't play video games as much as I used to, 5 years ago. But yeah, that's a different story. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next most likely Exeter video.